Hello and good day. Welcome to our video channel, God's Promises. And today's video will be Psalm chapter 44. Let's get started now. Psalm 44 is a lament of the Israelites, as they cry out to God in the midst of their suffering and defeat. The psalmist speaks on behalf of the people, recounting the stories of their ancestors and the miracles that God performed on their behalf. They acknowledge God's power and faithfulness, but also express confusion and despair at their current situation. The psalm begins with a recounting of God's past deeds, how he had given the Israelites victory over their enemies and established them as a great nation. The psalmist remembers the stories of how God drove out the Canaanites and established the Israelites in the land of Canaan. They acknowledge that it was not by their own strength or power that they were victorious, but by God's hand. However, in the present day, the Israelites are experiencing defeat and humiliation. They have been scattered and taken captive by their enemies. The psalmist questions why God has allowed this to happen, and wonders if God has abandoned them. They express their confusion and despair, asking why God is sleeping or hiding his face from them. Despite their current circumstances, the Israelites maintain their faith in God and continue to cry out to him for help. They ask God to remember his covenant with them and to redeem them from their enemies. They trust that God will not forget them and that he will eventually deliver them from their suffering. The teaching application of Psalm 44 is that even in the midst of suffering and confusion, we can maintain our faith in God and trust that he will ultimately deliver us. Like the Israelites, we can look back on the stories of God's faithfulness in the past and be encouraged that he is the same God today. We can cry out to him in our times of need and trust that he will hear us and answer us in his own time and way. Furthermore, the psalm reminds us that our faith in God does not guarantee a life free from suffering or trials. In fact, sometimes our faith in God can actually lead to persecution and hardship. However, our faith can sustain us through these trials and give us hope for the future. Like the Israelites, we can hold on to the promise that God will never leave us or forsake us, and that he will ultimately work all things together for our good. Thank you for visiting us today. Please share with us your favorite Bible verse below in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help our channel grow. Looking forward to see you back here for our next video. Always take good care.